masculine will really step up, and there is a lot of blessings and abundance as well. I feel like they are providing a lot of blessings because they see you as your soulmate. Oh, I love this. It's very positive. Let me see. You guys are gonna co-create. Hello, dear Scorpios. Welcome back to my channel. Wow, feels like we took a little break over here. I hope you guys are doing fine after the eclipse. I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally feeling the effects of the eclipse still. It was a very intense one. And yeah, we also still have, as I'm recording this, Mercury retrograde is turned direct in a few days, so on May 14th. I'm curious, how is that going for you guys as well? Like, give me a thumbs up if you're still here. Because yeah, definitely Mercury retrograde for a lot of us. Scorpio risings, whether or not you have Taurus placements, very intense. And if you have Taurus placements on top of that, ooh. Yeah, it could be definitely a very interesting time period. But anyway, let's dive into this. Basically from mid-month until the end of the month, second half of May. Let's see what's going to come up. There's definitely some interesting things that are coming up, and something I want you guys to pay attention to is the new moon on May 19th. So again, May 14th, we have Mercury turning direct in Taurus in your 7th house. So if you've been having some kind of hiccups, you know, in relationships, or any time from like April 2021, this is the solar eclipse, and this is when Mercury went retrograde. And again, personally, I felt so many things were just weird. Like there was so much miscommunication, even though I usually try not to program myself. I'm like, oh, whatever, Mercury retrograde doesn't affect me. This one I felt so much. Oh my goodness. Thanks God it's over, about to be over. And yeah, I feel like for you guys starting May 14, whatever, like if let's just say you would like literally be late by 5 minutes and you missed the person, literally like they were supposed to be there, or you were supposed to be there, but you didn't meet because you misunderstood each other, or like you sent a text and they misinterpreted it. Different stuff like that could have been happening. Different information also that might have come out right around on April 20th. You might see how, oh, okay, you either didn't know all the details about that situation, or situation changed as well. And it's almost like right now I'm already kind of seeing this Mercury retrograde that we had from April 21st until May 14th. It feels like it almost like wanted to clear space, wanted to fix things related to others, related to contracts, related to for some of you, maybe this even is touching a little bit of your 6th house, like maybe any kind of debts you had, you might have had to sort it out right now, especially those of you Scorpio risings, any kind of work issues, anything with health and diet as well, exercise, like just order around you, you might have also had to sort it out. And of course, mainly relationships too. So it almost feels like on May 14th, this Mercury retrograde is done, it's over. We have May 16, Jupiter ingress into Taurus, into your 7th house, which is very positive, guys. I don't care how many years, you know, of bad luck you might have had when it comes to relationships and love, even if you feel like, even if you never dated anyone, I don't care. This is gonna 12 months, stable Jupiter transit in Taurus. Like, we don't always have full 12 months. Like last 2 years, last 2 signs, Pisces and Aries, they were not necessarily so lucky, quote unquote, because Jupiter would dip into Pisces and retrograde back into Aquarius, so it wouldn't stay full 12 months. Same was with Aries. Jupiter was in Aries, but then retrograded back to Pisces. And now Taurus placements and Scorpio placements are so lucky in that way, because this is 12 months nonstop positivity, improvements when it comes to your relationship. Even though Jupiter goes retrograde, it will still stay in Taurus. Again, I use tropical, obviously, calculation. So positive news. So prepare right now to receive a blessing. Like you prayed all your life for soulmate, marriage partner, anything, I don't care. Like, or maybe some of you were married and you were praying to like get away from that person. This also can, by the way, happen when you are not in a relationship that you want to be. Like if you are not happy where you are with the relationship, Jupiter goes into your 7th house and it liberates you. So it's positive. And it, like for those of you who want to be single and you are actually married or with someone and you're like, oh my God, when am I going to get away from this person? When will the burden be lifted, so to say? This is what Jupiter also does. And I don't want to go like right up into next year, you know, with all these predictions and stuff, but there will be some very interesting aspects Jupiter will make. Venus will be retrograde and somewhere in Leo. There's going to be Jupiter-Uranus conjunction next year, and yeah, there's a lot to prepare for. But what I want you guys, and let me start taking out cards, what I want you guys to start doing is preparing for the new moon of Taurus on May 19th. So start mentally preparing for that new moon, because it is so positive. And most importantly, this is the new moon that might initiate this whole new chapter in your personal life. It's at 27, 28 degrees of Taurus. It does have positive aspects, but it's also like, what I find interesting is that something that you're going to start now, it could be a relationship, it could be a partnership, depending where this new moon of Taurus is happening in your chart. A lot of you are Scorpio risings, but some of you have different, right, rising signs. You might be Scorpio sun. For everyone will feel it in the area of relationships, but it's like a new beginning that's going to start in your life. And what's interesting, if you look exactly a year from now, May 18, 2024, there will be an exact conjunction. Cazimi, Sun and Jupiter will be conjunct at that degree. So it's almost like you might start a relationship and you might get married, or like, I don't know, start a family with the same person a year from now. Or you might, I don't know, get engaged, and again, a year from now, there will be something very fruitful. So think about it. And as I'm saying this, I'm seeing on my kitchen stuff, once again, 222. So like, again, repeating numbers. Probably it's about partnership, relationship, about love, but basically something that you are starting now, the seed that you plant, especially right around May 19, the new moon of Taurus, very, very important new moon. It is going to be, first of all, it's going to initiate also this Jupiter and Taurus blessings. Hopefully we fixed whatever stuff we needed to fix with our relationships, that's attitudes towards relationship, and now we are ready to receive this blessing. We are ready for blessing to come. And yeah, basically what's interesting is that a year from now there will be exact Jupiter and Sun conjunction at that same place. So don't waste this new moon. And yeah, let's get into the oracle. Today's a little longer because this is very important astrology. This is not astrology you want to sleep on. And look at this, we have Dragon's Hoard protecting the future. We have here number 12, and what I was just saying, something like 12 months, like this is 12 months of Jupiter, but also 12 months, you know, it's almost like this new moon will be manifesting for 12 months. Okay, let me see, repairing the veil, forgiveness. We also have here the wall, obstacles. We have here ancestral wisdom, lay of the land. Ooh, interesting, ancestral wisdom. Let me see the bottom. We have here skywriting, the fates. So it does feel like this is the time where you feel a lot of things are coming together for you in this way, where it's like, you know, if you believe in such a thing as fate, some of you do, some of you don't. It's like there are a lot of things that are happening right now feel very fated. Now, something you need to really understand right now is that the future that you always hoped for, future that you were always manifesting, hoping for. Like some of you might have changed throughout your life, right? Attitudes towards what you want out of life. Maybe you want to be famous at this point, at some point, at another point you were like, oh no, I actually have no desire for this. Some of you cared a lot about having a certain job, and then you're like, oh no, actually I want to switch careers. But maybe there is this like one dream you've always had. Maybe it was about soulmate. Maybe it was about love, or family, or whatever. Whatever that one dream always was. And I feel like for you, for most of you, it's about relationship. Trust that it's protected, and don't like try to remove any belief system that, oh my God, I'm gonna have to settle. Oh my God, somebody took something from me. Remove all of this, because right now, especially with Jupiter in the 7th house, like again, I don't care how many years in a row you've had shitty situations in relationships. A lot of people, Scorpio placements, have that experiences, but right now it's almost like it's impossible to not succeed. Like even if everything still at this moment still feels like it's stacked against you, like some of you might feel like you are being tested still with the wall and obstacles. Some of you feel like, oh my goodness, like I thought we are done with tests, what the heck is going on? Don't worry about this, because I feel like even though there could be some tests that were popping up for you, you will see how much faster things start turning around. Literally, let's just say some shitty situation, you know, I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but let's just say you've dealt with something that was not so good. 24-hour situation turnaround. You got out of the situation even better than what happened initially. Like I actually had this few days ago where like literally not such a good situation was going on, and I was like, what the heck is what's happening? I don't understand. And I, like was like, okay, I know everything is gonna be great. Like it's part of the plan. And I focused my attention into getting out of that situation even better than I was when I entered it. And literally within 24 hours, not only was I able to resolve that issue that popped up, but also previous stuff that I was not being able to resolve for years, suddenly solution came. And I'm just saying that this could be kind of like an experience you could be having right now with obstacles versus how you used to be. Maybe you used to like be in certain situation and it felt hopeless, and you like had no feeling like you even ever gonna figure it out. But now you're in this timeline where even if obstacle comes up, like whatever, it happens, it's life, right? You're not only able to resolve and turn around everything so quickly, but even get out of it even better than where you were before. It's almost like there is something here about how to say this, being like this alchemist, right? Like where it's like not only it didn't hurt you, but it like you got even something out of it. Like it's like maybe some of you have Jupiter in Scorpio in your natal chart on the 8th house or in the 8th house. It's kind of like that, like situations really that are even challenging are presenting blessings to you, blessings. And I'm just getting that like also with repairing the veil, there is going to be an opportunity to fix so many things. Like whatever things were broken, whatever issues you had, you're fixing them now. You're changing, like everything is changing to the better. And we have here also lays of the land, ancestral wisdom. I really think also because Pluto is in Aquarius, even though it's about to retrograde back into Capricorn, we're still going to have more Aquarius energy coming in later, like next year or two. There's something here about where what you're currently doing, it almost feels like no one in your family, no one in your lineage was able to do that before. And you're the first person who, instead of reacting to certain situations, maybe to certain things, you're like, you know what, I'm going to be the change. I'm not going to be blaming anyone anymore. Like I'm not going to be blaming my parents, my grandparents, my ancestors, or whoever, or that guy or that girl, or like I'm just going to be the change. Like whatever, it's their business, their job, like, to do whatever they want, but I'm just going to see a blessing in everything, and I'm just going to be turning situations around, going to be the change that I want. And it doesn't matter what's presented to me, I'm just going to make the best out of it. And somehow, like even if someone comes up to me and challenges me or tries to stand in my way, I'm going to turn around the situation that not only the obstacle is going to become my blessing, like literally like something that was supposed to make you intimidated and bullied and not go after what you want, I'm gonna look at it as exactly the thing that's helping me to get what I want. If you can do this, oh my goodness, like you have no idea basically how good things are about to get. Let's see a little more. Yeah, we have here closing door, completion. So there are things that it's time to let go of, and for a lot of Scorpios, like a lot of you guys are closing chapters and doors that people for years, maybe in your family, were having patterns with and carrying, or maybe it's a long relationship that was a part of your life for a long time, or some kind of chapter even. And again, we just had the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, right, with South Node, which is a very big emotional chapter closing. So obviously, like I said before many times, just because we had eclipse on May 5th, it doesn't mean like, oh, tomorrow, next day, okay, we are done, it's finished. A lot of astrologers lately explain these events like this, where it's like, oh, we are done. Yes, we are, but like usually when you like close the major chapter in your life, even though sure it can happen like that, still you're processing things. So allow yourself this kind of like time to maybe process something here. We have here crown games, right, use of power. And again, what I said here, right, we had this obstacle card and this crown games card. It's like you can turn around any situation right now to your advantage, to your favor. It's very important to see everything as it's working for you, even though sometimes I have to say it's probably very hard. We also have here Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. I feel like ultimately it's up to you what you want to heal, what you want to work on. For some of you, you might be, instead of maybe pursuing a new relationship or something new partnership, you might be focusing on fixing the existing one. there are so many choices, there are so many options, and whatever path you choose, you can have what you want, but just understand that like there's many different things that could be presented to you, including relationships, and you know, like own your choices basically. Like decide like, okay, I'm gonna pursue this, means like I'm not gonna be scared of whatever, you know, the journey shows. Or no, I'm not going to pursue this, I'm going to pursue something else. Also, like kind of like it's important to understand that you have options, you have choices, and understand their consequences too. Okay, let's see what else. We have here watchers, and we have here surrender. I'm also getting here that again, you're being watched over. It's important for you to like kind of like just allow yourselves to play a little more, be a little lighter, and also know that again, there's this very big transformational process where you will have the guidance that you need. And I feel like for some of you, like the struggle period is over. There is not much even that you have to struggle through. But for those of you who still feel like you're in that part of your journey where some things just don't make sense or it's hard, trust, you're being guided, you're being watched. We have bottom of the deck, Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix. Again, I think it was in one of your previous readings where I said that, you know what, even the Matrix, like quote unquote, right, itself, like challenges, they are for your advantage too. Just try to think of them as such. And I know some situations it's easier said than done, but that's the guidance we're getting here. All right, okay, let's go into your tarot. Let's see what's happening with love, because definitely, again, May 19, like I don't care who you are, where you're from, and what you did, but May 19, that that new moon, you better don't waste it, because it's a very important one. And again, this is something that's going to be, I feel like it's going to set the course and it's going to define, again, it doesn't matter what happens on the day, just use it wisely in terms of your intention planting. Because whatever starts happening on that day, because of this specific degree, and looking at the conjunction of Jupiter and Sun exactly a year from now in the same space, it's major, it's important, it's what I feel like this whole process is going to be about. Let's see. And let's just see even like the this new moon energies, maybe guidance related to that when it comes to your relationship. First rose you, second rose your person. Ooh, okay, you're showing up as Temperance here. What we just said about intentions. We have the Knight of Wands, we have the Four of Wands, we have the Devil. Again, a lot of people don't like the Devil card. In most of the time, I enjoyed the Devil card because it shows chemistry, physical chemistry in the way that I interpret them, but we'll see. We have the Knight of Wands, and we have here the Queen of Swords. Oh, cool. All right, let's see your person. We have Seven of Pentacles. I don't know why it really excited me, this card. It's weird. Two of Swords. We have here Chariot. And we have the Hanged Man. We also, okay. All right. Nine of Cups. Strength. Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Cups. So very romantic time. Very romantic time where even if both of you still have some challenges in your individual lives, you can overcome them together. I'm getting that, like, somehow, you know, and it's true. Sometimes when you have challenges in your life, and let's just say they have some, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but just hear me out for this idea. It's not gonna, like, you know, it's not gonna, at least in this case, it's not gonna make you give up on the connection. I feel like if anything, they dealt with something, you dealing with something, or dealt with something, like, you know, maybe something with work or whatever, previous partners, whatever. I feel like whatever issues you guys had, especially if you both are kind of like on this journey of leaving the past behind, becoming more free, starting a new life, you guys actually are going to become so much closer because of all these obstacles that were previously between you two. So maybe, I don't know, just let me give you an example, right? Maybe you had some kind of financial issue before, or they did, or maybe, you know, you had something going on with your ex-partner, or they did. Like, whatever stood in your way, basically, whatever maybe made the connection delayed before, whatever made like whatever created any kind of issues between the two of you, I see that now that thing is transformed in such a way that whatever that was, it actually is bringing you closer. It's actually kind of like, as you both are healing from those experiences, you're just growing closer to each other. And that's kind of like the love that I'm seeing here. It's not that like, oh, I have this problem, I'm gonna deal with this and you're gonna deal with it. No, it's more like, oh my God, we've been through so much, even though we maybe were not together when we were dealing with these things. But now that we are starting this new life together, healing from the experiences we had, or just, you know, letting go of issues, it's making us love each other so much more. That's what I'm seeing here. Because yeah, there is something here about building, like building something together too. All right, let's talk about this. Okay, so Temperance, and I needed to drink some water. Temperance, how fitting, right? I'm drinking water and I'm telling you to plant seeds on the new moon of Taurus. I feel like for you, there's been this journey, you know, like whatever was, I feel like in this connection previously, there might have been some kind of delay, something that might have been happening that didn't start right away. And, or maybe again, maybe not in the connection, maybe it's just you met the person, you hit it off right away, but before you met them, you feel like you've waited forever for them. Like you've been waiting and looking for them and searching for them, like manifesting that perfect person, your soulmate, whatever. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, oh, your connection had a delay. It could, like obviously general reading, so it could resonate in different ways here. But I feel like whatever what so quote unquote waiting process was, first of all, they were waiting for you too. And some of you are like, I'm not sure if they were waiting for me because maybe they had a relationship with someone else before me. So it didn't really look like they were searching for me or waiting for me, or maybe whatever it is. I feel like again, general reading, I feel like they were waiting for you. And maybe even for some of you, they were waiting for you to almost like be ready, in some spiritual sense. It could be Temperance. I don't know what it is. It could represent different things, you know, for all of you here. But I feel like they were waiting for you, you were waiting for them. And there's a sense here that while that was happening, it actually made everything somehow more perfect for for what's about to come. Like something was growing always behind the scenes. Somehow, even when the two of you were not together previously, and again, different, you know, scenarios for people here. Maybe for years you were just searching for that soulmate, or maybe you met and not right away the relationship started because they had to deal with something, you had to deal with something. I feel like whatever that thing was, it only made things grow behind the scenes so much more. Like somehow even that made somehow even that is an advantage to your connection. Now what's interesting is that I'm seeing with the Knight of Wands, you are someone who really is in this energy where you don't really want to wait. Maybe even like you don't want to wait anymore, that's for sure. I feel like with Knight of Wands, you decided maybe not to wait for anything, but just decide that, you know what, I know that things are going to show up correctly. I'm just going to attend to all my needs, focus on myself, not really chase anything, not really wait for anything anymore. Because something with the Two of Swords here, you were almost annoyed, I feel like, with them, where you're like, I mean, come on, you had time to think, you had time to process things, and maybe you still need that time, but I'm just getting that you're like, you know what, I'm not giving you that time anymore. Like, I'm not in that energy anymore where I'm trying to help you figure things out and trying to understand how long it's going to take. I'm just moving forward, not moving on so much. It's not that you're like, oh, deleting them, removing them from your life, not like that. I'm just getting you're like, okay, I am starting things. Like, I am on my journey where I start things, and I don't even feel like you are addressing this with them. It's more like something you do, and you energetically move yourself into that space where you're like moving forward, getting a lot of things done. Maybe honestly it's not even related to them. Maybe it's like there's so many things you've had on hold, right? Some debts maybe that needed to be paid off, or some kind of changes with your job, or moving, or I don't know, with family. A million things could be. And like, you know how we have these things on hold sometimes somewhere in the checklist, but we never attend to it. We're like, yeah, in a little bit, in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, and then for years it lingers. I feel like you finally started basically you're like changing things, moving very quickly in your life, making fast decisions. Okay, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that job, I'm gonna pay off this, I'm gonna like, and as you started doing all of that, you know, at first it's like they were like not sure what's going on, because I feel like energy shift might have affected them even. But what's interesting here with the devil card, no, sorry, not devil card, but the Four of Wands card, you are in this happy place right now where things are a lot more stable with you. And with the Chariot card, they are basically following you. It's almost like, I don't know, okay, I'm gonna just put it out there. If it's not your story, it's not your story. It's almost like the two of you were in similar situations. Let's just say, again, I know different people watching this, so I'm just trying to be not too specific, but sometimes I see specific situations. Let's just say you had to change careers and they had to change careers, or let's just say you both were maybe with someone else before and you knew you had to finish that situation, and they knew also they had to finish the situation, but both of you maybe were like kind of stagnant, like you for years were procrastinating that, they for years were procrastinating that. And it's kind of scary, right? Sometimes like when we are in a situation for a long time, we know we are not happy there, but it's like it's not very clear. There's no necessarily instruction. Okay, what do I do? How do I do it? And like, I feel so alone. Like, where is help? Like, who will walk me through this? Especially if people like family, friends are not really like supportive or advising towards you making the change or understanding why you want the change. And I'm just getting that like, it's almost like as you make the jump that you need, whether it's changing careers, moving, you know, changing something about your relationship status, as you make that step forward, you might be, honestly, Scorpio, the one who has more, you know, like how they say, anyway, I don't want to be rude, but like you are the one who has basically more kind of courage and like not masculine energy, but more like you are the one with more BALLS in this case, you know, so you are like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And it's almost like you make that jump, you make that movement forward, whether it's separating from that ex-partner or changing something drastic with your career, speaking your mind, starting that project, whatever that is. You do it with so much courage, like you're facing your fear with so much courage finally, which something they maybe did not have, you know, and they are watching you doing this and they are so mind blown by how brave you are. And they see also as you are making it to the other side that things look amazing, fantastic for you. And it's almost like if they were not able to do this before, this kind of like serves as an inspiration for them, where they're like, wow, you know, I need to do this too. So you are in a way kind of like an inspiring person to them, because I feel like, you know, if they did not meet you, maybe they would be, I mean, I don't want to say they would be stuck where they were, but it's like, it's almost like they don't see how to do it, and you somehow show them how to do it. So I don't know, you're guiding them in some way, and you're not guiding them by telling them what to do, you're being the change. It's what I said before, right, in your oracle part. It's like you are the change, you are that change you want to see. And with the Devil card, you know, in the Hanged Man, I am getting that there is some obsessive tendencies you guys still have with each other, but also I feel like the Devil and the Hanged Man combination, this is like maybe something happening behind closed doors, maybe you guys having a lot of like private time together and stuff like that. And I just get that also, let me see how else it's playing out, Devil and Hanged Man. They succumb to you. I don't know what it means, but basically they surrender to you. So I don't know what it means for you. We'll maybe look at it a little later in the extended too. Okay, and then with the Nine of Wands, I do feel like you are kind of in this energy where you basically don't want anything to do with them or anyone else unless they or anyone else you're dealing with, it's not even, I feel like, specifically addressed to them. It's just your boundaries. You want people to show up in your life correctly, which means you are not going to be running in circles. You are not going to be doing back and forth. You are not going to be doing hot and cold. You are not going to be doing, oh, there is this other person that I still haven't finished things with and I need to figure things out and I have these excuses and they depend on me and whatever. Like, you're not even hearing the stories. The stories do not exist for you. you understand everybody has a story. You have your story, they have their story. Well, listen, there's 8 billion people, I think, on this planet. Everybody has a story. Everybody has childhood trauma. Everybody has, issues. Like, it's safe to say, honestly, like, at this point. And what we are not gonna do is we're not gonna make excuses anymore, not for ourselves, not for anyone else. So this is what I mean when I say be the change. Because, like, when in your own life you also stop blaming everyone and you're like, you know what, this is how it's unfolded until this point, but you know what, I'm gonna just take everything into my hands right now and be confident I can steer my ship, I can direct my life in the direction I desire. So when you show up like that, it's much easier for you to expect the same from others. Because, see, the thing is, like, of course, if you are making excuses for yourself, if you're feeling pity for yourself or whatever, then it's, the same thing with others perpetuates, and it creates more of this, victim type of cycles, right? But if you are like, you know what, I got my life together, and even if it's not fully together, I am in the process of doing that. So everyone who comes into my life, you better show up correctly. Like, we have this, I don't know how, yeah, it's just basically you have pretty strong boundaries. And it's not about cutting anybody off, because, see, I think that's where everybody goes wrong, because people say that, right, oh yeah, I gotta stand up for myself, have boundaries, but then they start cutting off people left and right, and then the point is not to be alone and just, like, be like, oh, I have my boundaries. The point is to make people show up correctly and build healthier relationships. And it's not about you're like, oh, I never want to talk to you again or anything. No, but you know when to pull back your energy and when to not give attention to any kind of perpetuating cycles. Especially, this is how you prevent even anything from becoming a cycle. Like, instead of, let's just say you see something undesirable and you see a dynamic starting to form where, oh, maybe there's back and forth, or maybe there is like some kind of third party being, an obstacle to a connection. You only perpetuate this as a cycle if you keep entertaining that. If right away in the very beginning or at any point you're like, this is not my story, I'm not going to give this any energy, attention, or entertain this, you better show up correctly, and you will show up correctly, because I am valuable, and you be an idiot if you ever like pass something like this by. And you stand strong in that confidence and knowing that this person is going to show up this way because they wouldn't risk losing you, and you choose yourself. This is, I feel like, what creates this dynamic where you get your wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups, because again, everyone has a story, everyone has some kind of baggage, everyone has issues. Like, to a degree, this is true, right? But what we're not going to be doing here, and I feel like it's very important for you to get this in your mind right now, is that we are not going to be walking in any kind of circles. We are not going to be playing any kind of mind games. We're not going to be like, back and forth or whatever, or taking our sweet time, because I feel like also there is no more patience here. Like, you're not patient anymore, and you're not patient anymore is meaning like the waiting is over. So you know that you're going to get your wish fulfillment, and you just know that, like, you're not going to entertain anything less than that. If we have issues, we can work through them together, and it's going to be stable, and it's going to somehow bring us closer. Everything is a learning experience, right? So what? I've had some issues before, you've had some, but we are coming together, and I choose to see this reality in a such way where nothing is an obstacle between us, but anything, even if it was an obstacle before, is actually bringing us together, making our love relationship and everything we are here to create even more inevitable. It's almost like you try to, do something to keep someone from me, but that's gonna, bring them to me even more. And you have to believe in this with full confidence. It's so important here. And guys, I just had somebody knock at the door, which was totally unexpected. So I take, me guys, I take everything that happens around me when I read as an omen. So I do feel like there's going to be unexpected things which will come faster than you expect if what we just talked about, the mindset that we just talked about, if you can adopt it. Because literally I was supposed to, what just happened when I was recording this, something was supposed to happen tomorrow morning, but whatever the situation is, they came so much earlier, like they came today, this afternoon. So if you can adopt this mindset, I'm telling you guys right now, if you can adopt this mindset that we just discussed, right, like trusting, and not even trusting, but being that confident in that outcome that you're creating, this wish fulfillment, them showing up correctly, them choosing you, choosing to build life with you, no matter what baggage there was before. I don't care how many years back it goes. Like, I really don't. Like, sorry, I don't know, if you want somebody to feel sorry for you, find a different, person to talk about this. I don't care how many years it goes, because I really see right now is that opportunity where it doesn't matter. It's just everything can happen. And not only it can happen so much faster. It's almost like you're like, hey, it's going to take a few months or whatever. Everything can happen so much faster if only you really do believe with full certainty that, you know what, nothing is an obstacle, nothing is a problem. What are we learning from whatever's unfolded so far? What have we learned? Like, how are we going to make this, our relationship, even better? How are we going to love each other even more and have a most amazing, life of our dreams, okay? And that's what I'm saying here. Let me take a love romance angel. We'll take this to the extended. We have here, keep an open mind. Yeah, and for you, I think it's also a journey kind of in a way where maybe you had certain expectation. You used to see relationships in a certain way. You used to be yourself in a certain way. And now I feel like there could be something so different about this person that you never saw coming. I don't know. Maybe it's about their religion. Maybe it's about their background. Maybe it's about just the way they are. Maybe it's about their appearance, looks, profession, million different things. Keep an open mind, because see, like, sometimes the most exciting things, especially because we do have Uranus in the 7th house for Scorpio still in Taurus, right? It's like sometimes the most exciting things are the unexpected ones. So, yep. And we have here attraction. I feel like there's a lot of attraction in the connection. As you get to know each other, the attraction will only grow more. And I feel like, what it gives me? The vibe of the movie. I just saw it 2 nights ago. The one with Keira Knightley, Pride and Prejudice remake. I think it was 2005 year. I don't remember the year it came out. But it's like in Pride and Prejudice, right? The story is that they're so different. They're completely repulsed by each other in the beginning. And they have this expectations about each other and all this like prejudices about each other and whatever, like almost like hate each other in the beginning. And I'm not saying it's your story, but it's like the more you get to know each other, sometimes it blows your mind so much because you change your opinion about things you think you would have never changed your opinion about. And you start seeing yourself in a different way and you learn about another person. So I feel like somehow part of this connection, as you talk about deep subjects maybe, or your feelings or your previous experiences, you both are meant to change each other in such deep and profound way where like you are surprised, but they're going to be surprised even more. And I feel like the connection only going to grow. Like, and honesty is also required about feelings, of course. You're also learning that it's safe for you to love, no matter what happens, The thing is, like, sometimes we're like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Am I going to survive this? Like, and we have all these fears because we think somehow we are not going to be okay. But like, I feel like with this relationship, maybe you've learned it doesn't matter what's presented. It doesn't matter what happens because it's still safe. You are safe. You are okay. You don't need anybody's being chosen by anybody. You don't need to be anybody to give you a yes if you create this for yourself. If I know I'm chosen, I am my yes. If I know that I'm gonna win in this situation, not because of this guy or his girl or his ex-girl or his previous relationships, how they were or how he is or whatever. I'm gonna win in the situation because that's who I am. I am a winner. I win in any situation I enter. So if I'm in this situation, it means I'm gonna win because that's just how things work. That kind of belief in yourself, there is never gonna be an issue in your life again, Not for longer than a few hours, because you're going to turn everything around. And this card showing up worth waiting for, divine timing as it works in your love life. Again, some of you know my opinion on divine timing. I don't necessarily believe in such thing. It's what we create. If you believe in some other entity, time needs to be perfect, you're going to create that. Time is right now. Everything is happening right now. And even though if the only thing you can take control of right now and, like direct in the direct towards what you want is your mind, that's enough, and time is right for that. And but also, in this way though, I feel like because of the transits we're having, all that we discussed with Jupiter and everything, this is the perfect time for everything to unfold. And for a lot of you, this is a situation that's going to lead to marriage. Like, yeah, I see, like, this card says let your friends help you, but I see this is like wedding and something. So for some of you, this is like a wedding also coming up. And there's so much chemistry with this person. Calling in your soulmate. You both might have really been calling in each other. It's happening very soon. Again, this card, bottom of the deck, stay optimistic about your love life. So don't worry, even for a second, entertain any kind of negative story where somebody's like in the way or whatever. Think of everything as it's bringing you and your person closer together even more. Anyway, we're gonna take this to the extended. We're gonna talk more deeper about everything that's happening, their feelings to you, how it unfolds, what is the best thing for you to do. We'll specifically take a look at what's the best thing to do in terms of May 19 new moon intentions. So if there's any specific guidance to how to set these intentions correctly. So link to the extent is going to be down below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye.